Hey beautiful, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, it's amazing to have you here. This is the second in a series that we're doing where we're going back to basics of how to build a regimen that works for beast mode hair growth, maximizing your hair growth, your length retention as well. And if you didn't know, after each video, I've been doing a Facebook Live. So within an hour of this dropping, i.e. 10 PM GMT, I'm going to be having a Facebook Live where we're going to be applying the principles that we have learnt in this video over on the Facebook group or on my Instagram. I'm going to be streaming simultaneously from both of those. So you can head over there and ask me your questions at 10 PM. But not to worry, if you miss it, I'm going to leave it up there and pin it so that you can quickly make reference to it and see some of the commonly asked questions actually addressed there and then, because I do find it difficult, although I do my best, to get back to everyone on their questions in the comment section below. Just to give you an overview, so far we have done the first of the 6 things that I think every regimen needs to include to maximize hair growth. One was oiling, so that's the first video and we have done that. The second video we're doing cleansing, okay, so that's what we're doing today. But the other things that you need to incorporate into your regimen include regular deep conditioning, also nourishment topically, nourishment internally, protective styling, and using something that is going to give you some strength as well. So that could be some kind of a herb, it could be rice water, it could be some sort of a protein treatment. So those are the things that are going to be coming in the series, and the new videos drop every 3 days. And after each video drops, within the hour, we're doing a live where we get to actually apply what we have done. So what we're going to be doing on the live today is we're going to actually be mixing up a hair cleanser. You can bring along what you've got, or just bring your lovely self and we can grab a cup of tea and do that together. Okay, so how do we cleanse? I mean, for the longest time, shampoos were demonized. It was like, don't use a shampoo. We use the curly girl method. We only co-wash. Are shampoos bad? My answer to that question would be no, but you have to find the right one that works for you. So there's different ways to cleanse, and the important thing to note is when you're cleansing your hair and when your hair is wet, it is most prone to breakage, and most of the time curly, kinky, wavy hair types need a very gentle method of cleansing. I would say periodically it's great to go in and clarify, and you may choose to use a clarifying shampoo, or you may choose just to stick with some kind of a clay, because clays are great cleansers, and in fact there is no problem with using a clay cleanser to cleanse your hair frequently, very frequently. So let's look at the different types of cleanser that you can use in your hair so that you can make the right decision for you. The first type is, of course, traditional shampoo. Shampoos are great at causing the oil particles to bind and lift from the hair. They're full of saponins, and what that does is actually lifts like all of the grime and all of the oil that's trapped in. There are some moisturizing ones that you can try. I absolutely adore the one by Care, which is their hydrating shampoo. I'm going to have that linked below if you want all of the products actually that I mentioned. I'm going to do my best to link exactly the ones that I mentioned in the description box below. So a gentle cleanse has more hydrating elements in it and is not as stripping for your hair. So if you want to use shampoo on a more frequent and regular basis, you might want to go for a more hydrating shampoo. I highly recommend that you would avoid avoid sulfates and parabens as far as possible to make sure that you are not stripping your hair and not exposing it to more than you actually need to. The second option that you might have for a shampoo would be a clarifying shampoo. Clarifying shampoos are really good for a deep clean. So if you notice that your hair is dry, you're really struggling actually to get your products that you used to have work amazingly on your hair, you're really struggling to get them to reach the same potential and actually function in the same way and reach the same benefits, then maybe you just really need to clarify and pull all the layers of product build up that you might have on your scalp and hair needs to be removed. So you would look at using a clarifying shampoo, but I would say maybe don't use that more often than every 3 weeks. Maybe as a curly kinky person who is trying to retain length, you might even want to prefer using it on a monthly basis, or just when you feel that your hair has built up or your products are not as effective. My hands down favorite clarifying shampoo is actually the Giovanni Tea Tree shampoo. I absolutely love it. It works so well. Like, my hair feels so clean and at the same time hydrated, and my hair loves it. And I have to say, guys, as far as shampoos go, those are the only 2 shampoos that I have been able to so far use on a consistent basis, because all the others give me terrible itchy scalp and dandruff. If you're suffering from dandruff, it could be that your scalp does not actually tolerate coming into contact with shampoo, and you've always used shampoo, so you've never known that that was the reason. But that certainly was the reason for me, and Dove shampoo was the worst. It was years ago when I was at university, so no shade to Dove. It could be that they've improved their formulations, but at the time my experience was so bad, I was like, I'm never going back. Literally, it was snowing on the pages of the books I was writing in. So that might be something to look into if you find that you've got dandruff. African black soap. Now, it gave me crazy results when I started my journey, and one of the things about it is so full of vitamins and minerals, like insanely packed, like with things like magnesium, which everybody knows makes your hair grow like crazy. And when you cleanse your hair with something that is basically bathing your scalp in vitamins and your entire strand in vitamins and minerals that promote hair growth and actually promote circulation, then you are going to get amazing hair growth. And not only that, your hair is not going to feel stripped. The other way that you can cleanse your hair is by using the co-wash method. So there are some cream cleansers that function a lot like co-washes, and there's just regular schmegular conditioner that you can use to cleanse your hair. I have to say, this is my go-to most of the time. If I'm not mixing up a clay, I'll just grab a conditioner, a good quality one, maybe a Giovanni's one, maybe a Camille Rose Naturals one, and cleanse my hair, literally using the conditioner as if it's a shampoo, going right from the roots all the way down, and then I'll detangle. I'll leave it in to pull the excess oil off the shaft of my hair, and then I will rinse. The advantage of this is that your hair is never overly stripped, which is a massive problem, especially with kinkier, curlier hair types. We struggle to hold on to hydration. So especially if you exercise regularly, need to wash your hair on a regular basis, you might decide that, hey, maybe a co-wash is the way for me. I'll go weeks doing a co-wash. Also love clays, but we'll get onto that in just a second. And I've had no problems. I don't tend to really have a problem with build up till maybe about 6 weeks, where I'll decide, right, as much as I might not want to go through doing a DIY or a mix, maybe it's time for me to use a clay or to use a shampoo to clarify my hair. Right, so the other thing that you might want to use is Ayurvedic herbs. Let me tell you, if you are new to my channel, Ayurvedic herbs are like insane. They are freaking amazing and bomb. And there are a range of different herbs that you can use that actually have a clarifying effect on the hair. For example, soap nuts. Aretha is actually soap nuts, and when you mix up the paste, you actually see small bubbles starting to form. Just a nod to the fact that it's able to clarify, form small bubbles, pull oil out of your hair, and your hair does actually feel clean after using Ayurvedic washes. Now you can make them up by mixing a paste in the bowl, and it depends obviously on the quantity of hair that you're working with, but mix up a paste in the bowl. I also love hibiscus. It's great for cleansing and conditioning the hair at the same time, and shikakai is a wonderful conditioner and cleanser also. So what's amazing about these herbs is that if you are dealing with hair that's very prone to breakage, very weak, it is insane for strengthening your hair, because as I said, when you wash your hair, it is at its weakest and most vulnerable. And particularly for kinkier hair types, every single kink in your hair is a point where you can have breakage. So if you have something that you're using to cleanse hair when it's wet and at its most fragile, that's actually imparting strength while cleansing, honestly, you're on to a winner. I absolutely love using them. You can put them into a applicator bottle and top up your paste with some water. And if you're going to use it in a couple of days, or if you want to save it to use with the children, or you want to use it with on your whole family, you can just preserve it by placing it into the fridge to make sure that nothing funky happens, because at the end of the day, these are all natural products, and whilst essential oils do help, they're not really, truly speaking, they're not actually preservatives, but they do help to you know, increase the shelf life of your mixes. So yeah, I cannot stress enough, like literally these herbs are like so bomb. Finally, you might want to use a clay. Now what I love about clays is whether you decide you're going to use bentonite or rasal, they are really super defining for the hair. They really do help your ringlets and curls to form, and it really does help with your definition afterwards. It is insane. I love my clays, and they're slightly different. So for example, I find that the bentonite clay expands more. I find that the bentonite clay, oh by the way, there's two types, rasal and bentonite. Those are the ones that I have had experience using. The bentonite clay expands more, and I feel that it's got more of a slightly mushier texture, but it's great for pulling out toxins. So if you have undergone something like chemotherapy, or you've just been on a course of medication, you're not at your optimal health, particularly if you have scalp issues, it is really a great thing to apply from the scalp all the way up the shaft of your hair to pull out buildup and to pull out toxin. Bentonite is fantastic for that. So is rasal. Rasal is fantastic for that as well. It pulls out toxins, but bentonite is definitely stronger in that respect. Rasal clay is super high in silica concentration. Silica is one of those trace elements that is really very important for hair growth. It's great for using in detangling. It is rich in silica, in magnesium, in zinc. It's rich in iron, which people often are low in if their hair is experiencing some kind of thinning or balding or alopecia. A lot of time people that have breakage just unexplained, they're really low in some of these elements, particularly actually iron. The fun fact is actually 58% silica, so it's really good stuff. Great for making sure that your hair is coiled and that you've got your definition. And again, it does not strip the hair when it is cleansing it, so it really is a good look. I absolutely adore both clays. I think rasal just has that little edge over bentonite for me because I find it a bit easier to work with. I find the texture easier to work with, and I find the definition from the rasal just to be that bit more than when I use bentonite clay. I also find bentonite clay a little bit more difficult to remove, but bear in mind it is the the better of the two for actually pulling out toxins. So if you're doing a detox, girl, you know, you're having your detox teas, you're drinking your water, and let's say you're using lots of dandelion tea to really cleanse yourself, you're using your MSM, all of these things which really help to expel toxins, you can pull them out of your scalp too by using bentonite clay. Just saying. Yeah, so I think I've said everything that I want to say about cleansers. I hope you like one or the other for your particular hair needs and you're able to utilize them. Choose whichever you like the sounds of. You can just go for one. You don't have to have all of them in your arsenal. The whole point of this is simplifying but being effective based on what your individual needs are. In the description box, I've got a downloadable that you can download so that you can be making notes, so that you can decide, hey, I am going to be using olive oil, for example, and this is the essential oil I'm going to use, and this is the cleanser that I'm going to use. And then we're going to get to a point where we're going to build up how often we should be utilizing each of these things in the routine. Don't forget to join me over on my Facebook live chat at 10 p.m. And also on my Instagram live so that we can chop it up and talk through any of your questions as I prepare a cleansing mix myself with you. So if you've got some clays lying around, or if you've got shampoo that you want to infuse with essential oils, let's get together. I may even well be in my PJs by that point in the night. Yes, we are literally going to have a virtual sleepover and I'm so excited to meet you. So make sure you head over there now. Massive kisses and hugs. Make sure you check out the earlier videos in the series if you're feeling a little bit lost. And yeah, see you in the next video, which drops in 3